Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. It's in the description below. tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing the most striking 5711 I have ever seen. This is the Patek Philippe Nautilus 5711J-001. A model made from 2007 to 2009. It is rarely seen, the yellow gold silver dial Nautilus, here with a spectacular rubber B swimmable accessory strap. This timepiece rocks. Now, it is standard 5711 in terms of its fit. You can see the watch is broad and flat, measuring 40 millimeters by 8.7 millimeters thick. It's 49.6 millimeters from link to link, and that is the absolute distance across the wrist. Now, I've seen examples of the Nautilus with Tiffany dials, fully gem set at the factory. Incredible things, but the standard 5711 has never looked more remarkably warm or enticing than this model right here, with a spectacular combination of gold and white. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, it really does cut a low slung profile. Yes, you could wear this with a tight sleeve or a dress cuff. It's still a gold Patek Philippe. You can easily use it as a dress watch, and with this cool white strap complementing the warmth of the gold, it actually cuts a very striking figure without being gauche or overbearing in any way. The watch is low slung and suitable for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, with plenty of clearance on each side of my wrist. The lugs do not overlay the edge of my wrist. Taking a quick look at the strap, this rubber B unit looks as though it's a factory piece. Now, there is a factory rubber strap you can get, but it is deliberately calculated to look like the leather version of the same strap. This is designed to look summery and sporty. The rubber B I actually prefer to the Patek rubber strap. Striations on the top, you can see there are shoulder profiles with a little bit of a fluting to give some definition. The underside with a little bit of a hollow to allow the strap to ventilate the wrist on a hot day. You can see the strap actually has some punch points if you want to add additional apertures for smaller wrists. Those are there, so you can punch them out from the back with a watchmaker's tool. That can be done just about anywhere worldwide. The thing about the strap is it is adjustable, so you have your choices. Of course, there is a screw setting to hold the clasp in place, but it's easier to size a strap than it is to size the pin sleeve bracelet of a standard 5711. We have here a double deploying clasp, twin swing arms, yellow gold, twin trigger release. Altogether, it's more impressive, particularly the twin trigger release, than the conventional clamshell locked Patek Philippe factory clasp that you find on the bracelet clad model. Rolling over the case, it's as complex and exquisite as any Nautilus has ever been, which is to say it is more sophisticated in its build-up than an Aquanaut. If you wonder why the Nautilus costs more, part of that is reputation, but part of that is substance. You can see we have a case back, we have a mid case, and then we have the bezel with the overlapping wings. You can see the bezel gasket expressed narrowly between the bezel and the case. There are little polished bevels along the edge of the case. There's a rounded polygonal form that serves as the primary shape of the bezel, but unlike Gerald Genta's Royal Oak, which he created before the Nautilus, here we have a fully realized notion of a bezel that's echoed by a crystal, that's echoed by a dial. On the Royal Oak, you have the rounded polygon, but then the crystal is round and the dial is round and the inner bezel is round. Here, each echoes the other. So you have the bezel, you have the inner bezel with the same faceting, you have the same faceting about the sapphire, and then the dial. So there's a lovely design parallelism here that does not exist on the Royal Oak. The combination of polish and satin is laid down by hand, making this an extravagantly hand-finished case. Screw-down crown with the Calatrava cross, 120 meters water resistant. It is a silver dial, and unlike the other Nautilus models, it is not a gradient, so it's the same color silver at the edge as it is in the center. That makes it a little bit more bright and tropical. I don't mean tropical in the aged sense. I mean, this is something you would wear in the subtropics at Miami or maybe in Havana at a party. This is an incredible dial with yellow gold hands and indices that pop against the silver base. The timepiece does feature a silver date disc. It does not feature hacking seconds, though it does feature a quick set date. And those of us who know the caliber 324 well understand that there are ways you can stop that seconds hand with a tiny bit of back pressure to effectively hack the seconds and synchronize to a reference time. And of course, we have that quick set date, so both of them can be synchronized precisely to read true. The case back is broad and open, and since all of these yellow gold 5711Js were made from 2007 to 2009. As far as I've seen, they are all Geneva hallmark. Mid-2009, Patek Philippe switched over to the Patek Philippe seal. I've never seen a 5711J without the Geneva hallmark, so as far as I know, they were all made that way. And this one certainly has the evocative Poinçon de Genève, 5-position chronometer style adjustment, high horology and chronometers always adjusted at least in 5 positions. The watch features a 4 Hz beat rate and a free-sprung gyromax style balance architecture for toughness and precise adjustment. And of course, it beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. That is 4 Hertz. It is a unidirectional winder with a 45-hour power reserve, and you can see it's a handsome combination of hand finishing and machine finishing, though unlike, for example, Audemars Piguet, where it seems like the balance of the finishing is mechanical. Here it really does feel like mechanical used in detail, but the balance of the finishing is manual, and there is a real distinct difference between, say, an automatic AP caliber 3120 and a Patek caliber 324. The anglage is mirrored, rounded, true hand laid, at least hand finished. The stripes are lovely and gradiated, perfectly aligned across the bridges. The pin heads used to locate the bridges are polished, as are the screw heads. The screws also have a chamfered, slot, and circumference. And then we have engine turning both at the center of the rotor, and as you can see, on the click wheel adjacent to the rotor and the base plate, we also have satination on the wheels. It is a beautifully executed movement. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And before you do that, let's do a Lume shot.